Good afternoon, councillors. My name is David Tomlinson. I'm a local resident. I've lived here for years. I'm an economist, a writer, and I was for 9 years an elected member of the Lismore City Council. Thank you for allowing me to make a submission on the Rouse Water Strategy after 2060. Long-term thinking must be applauded, and I congratulate you for doing this. After going through the various studies conducted by Rouse, it seems clear to me that the new 50 gigalitre dam, however superficially appealing, is not the way to go. Rouse, like other best practice entities, has adopted a triple bottom line approach which covers the environmental, social and economic aspects of the strategy. This wider view is crucial. While it is sometimes easier to get our heads around financial costs, the social and environmental implications also carry costs which we ignore at our peril. Sometimes these costs are hard to quantify, but they can be extremely significant. After all, how do you price clean water, breathable air, a well-functioning society, a safe society, or a healthy environment? Well, you can't, at least not with any accuracy. But they cannot be ignored. For example, as we know, we are now dealing with catastrophic climate change, all because we ignored the hard-to-measure environmental cost of using fossil fuel. In the case of the new dam, the social costs will be disproportionately borne by the local Aboriginal people. The loss of sacred sites will be permanent. They are irreplaceable. These sites collectively have been designated as of state significance. How can you measure the cost that the destruction of these sites will have on the Aboriginal community? Indeed, what are the costs to the rest of the community? And as you know, any threat to these sites is likely to be fiercely contested. This delay could take years, adding to costs. On the environmental side, the costs too are high. If the dam went ahead, we would lose rare remnants of lowland rainforest, crucial wildlife corridors used by koalas and other species, as well as threatening many rare and endangered plants and animals. This destruction would be permanent. On the financial side, the financial cost of the dam is loaded up front, with most of the spending incurred at the start, when the dam is built. When the dam is full, it will represent an increase in supply far beyond our current needs. Indeed, most of the water will not be utilised for decades. The report estimates that it will be 2115 before demand meets the available supply. That's almost a century from now. A new dam means a huge excess water capacity that will incur high costs in the form of loan repayments and maintenance costs from the very start. These costs will have to be paid by someone. That someone is us, the current water users. This is so even as we realise that most of the benefits will go to future generations. In other words, current users will be paying for water they will never use. In the next 100 years, anything could happen. This represents a huge financial risk for all of us. The Noon Dam could well become a very expensive stranded asset. The point, councillors, is that there are viable and cheaper alternatives to a new mega dam. Greater water efficiencies offer the cheapest way to reduce demand despite population increases. Greater efficiencies can reduce the need for supplementary water sources for decades to come. With climate change, we'll have to do this anyway. Water use, desalination and groundwater are also alternatives that carry less cost. The report prepared for Rouse suggests that the highest cost option over the next 40 years, the one that will hit water users the heaviest in terms of water bills, is the new dam proposal. It is more expensive than the groundwater option, whether you look at it in terms of net present value, the preferred method for investors, or the cost of obtaining each extra litre of water over the next 40 years. This calculation ignores all those social and environmental costs associated with the dam. If we ask ourselves what happens after 40 years, the answer is we don't know. Just think of the changes that have happened in the last 40 years. Everything from laptops, the internet, email, social media, electric cars, solar panels, wind turbines, artificial intelligence, mobile phones, and of course rapid climate change. The best brains on the planet are working on solutions to many of the problems we are facing, including water shortages. Innovations and new technologies are a daily occurrence. So, why lock us into an inflexible and expensive plan for the next 100 years? It doesn't make sense. On behalf of our community, I urge you to stay flexible and embrace the dam alternatives. Thank you for your time.